Before today, we are delving the topic called religion is blind, following the blind. It has no place in 21st century. Before I start, I have to speak with a two dimension because I am somewhere in the middle of this statement. Before I want to start with the divine theory. What is divine theory? Divine theory is something, is a command from the God that gives people to how we should live. Actually, divine theory is originated from the ancient times when the people are just grouped in together and they don't have any moral support, like they were eating, living, killing, this kind of thing. So they have to be coordinated in center, like someone has to be coordinated. So they need some support. So that point is divine grace originated. So by the way, I cannot say religion is blind, is following the blind, because in that perspective, religion was a very good initiative to make the people into a single umbrella, having some ethical norms and things. But by 2000, I have to tell about other dimension. By 2008, there's something happened in India that's called Bukhari death. It is recently happening since 2018. It's a ritual suicide. It's not why it is like celebrated in them. Celebrated as everyone knows. And Netflix also released a documentary called House of Death something. Okay. It is because the 10 people were hanged as a part of ritual suicide. So, as in perspective, when we put in the religion is not blind, I would say religion is blind, but somewhat is not blind. It's because religion, this perspective has a wider connotation in all aspects. When we talk in Indian level, we have a secular nation that by portraying Article 15, that prohibition of discrimination of caste, like we don't want to discriminate any kind of people on the basis of religion, sex, anything. I'm focusing on religious part. Okay. So I would say religion is like not blind. It's like you have to balance in a perfect manner. Otherwise, it will make chaos. And third dimension I want to speak is like before the religion, most of the country now the religion part is working. Most of the people working as a vote bank politics. We can take from Indian example or other countries like that. So we have to balance for this. Not as like I am totally agreeing this. I'm somewhere in the middle of this religious blind. Religion is following the blind, and I would say religion has some sort of like importance in the 21st century. I cannot completely ignore this part. Even in techno driven, we have to be in a stable and middle part. That's my option about the statement.
So, for me, religion is a baseless thing because I don't believe there is any evidence of the existence of God or some superior thing. So, I believe that religion is formed because of classifying or differentiating people in that time, and we followed it. So there are so many unwanted rituals or activities that is followed by many of us currently also. So I don't think it's a good practice to continue. It's 21st century and we are in a techno world, so I think we should move on from that.
Actually, I am against this topic. Religion is blind following the blind, because it's not actually blind following the blind, because there are evidence of religion, and as the world changes to a different dimension, we can see this evidence, the prediction of this evidence. So, according to my subjective knowledge, like religion is not a general thing. Like it's subjective. Each of them follow their own religion. According to my subjective knowledge, the evidences I have gathered, I think that what all the religion is preaching, that is actually something which makes sense, and that is something which has to be followed, because I feel like we have to be controlled at some point of our life, because living a life which is not controlled, where there is no one to control you in any point of your life, is like baseless. First example I can say is when an infant feeds from a mother, like breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a process where a mother can feed a child and a child can drink milk from the mother as long as they want. If there is no, the child will not stop feeding a mother. Mother have to stop the child from feeding. That is a control which mother is putting to a child. See, you have to drink this much only. Mother is putting. So I think control starts from an infancy stage as well. So each point of our life, I feel like we need to be controlled. Maybe like by another person, it might be like harsh because they are also fellow human like us. So why they need to control us? We might get a feeling like that. That is the reason why gods are controlling us. Gods are divine power is controlling us. Maybe that is not a fellow human like us. That is the divine power which is controlling us. But anyways, I feel like we have to be at some certain point. We have to be controlled in our life because that is like we need that involuntary control in our life in any aspect.
Okay, I want to say you were saying about rituals and things. Okay, so there is thing called blindly following religion, and there is thing called having faith in the religion. So nowadays, what is happening is people are blindly following the rituals. What it means is they are not actually knowing the real existence, like what is the importance of that ritual. They are just blindly following it. Whereas if I talk about faith, like Natasha said, we have to be somewhere at some point of time we have to be controlled. So I really believe that because if you are like left uncontrolled, you will be like feeling, oh, I can do anything in life. Maybe you will end up ruining your life. So to have the right direction, to go into the right path, I think you need a superior power and someone can do it.
I'm talking in a different perspective. Like, I'm not arguing whether God is existing or not. That's a very complicated topic for me. Like, to me, religion is something that we invented for good, but it turns to be bad. Like, as I act now. So, I feel like, as Agil said, I'm in the midway. I'm not talking about the belief and things. Even we are in the 21st century, we need something like some moral values. There are things that we cannot interpret with our intelligence. Like we cannot say this is good, this is bad. For example, if I take extramarital affairs, there are people who support it because these things emerge from the feelings. That person cannot control at that particular moment. That person cannot control his feelings. It ended up like that. But in another way, it leads to cheating also. If the person who is going to extramarital affair, it will lead to cheating and it will affect the other person's feeling also. So we can't give a break in such a kind of situation. So somewhat in some situations, in some scenarios in our life, there should be a control. So I'm not agreeing the fact that we can cancel religion in the 2000 in this century.
I have two counterpoints against one against guys and against two people. First thing you said like religions became based system, right? Yes, past made a statement. I'm not agreeing with the basis thing because religion is somewhat based, not somewhat based. Because there are some things we can find out by scientific evidence, but there are some other things in the world we cannot find even we have science. That's the first thing to do. And second for you guys, you said something control, you have to control things. Really, for me, for my understanding, religion is not about controlling. It's about like self-actualization for the human beings. Like whatever you just said, you are believing that someone has okay. I'm not touching the religious part. Like I'm telling, like religion is not about controls. For controls, we are in a democratic country. So we have superiors and inferior people there. So religion, if it is used for controlling, so it will be made into chaos and it will make some issues because there are some instances in some places in our country, there's people who are entering to temple and they are restricted the entry and that people will get into custodial death and so many issues are. So for me, religion is not like for controlling.
I was not saying in the sense of control.
Yeah.
I was saying like religion puts some kind of limitations. Like you are not being controlled under that. You are given full freedom, but there are some limitations, and that limitations are put for you, for your own good, not for like Christ.
Okay, fine. I don't want to go with this control point because, yeah. Let me just ask you a basic, very basic question. Where do you seek your comfort from? What is your comfort zone? Okay, when you're facing a tough situation, initially, what force pulls you out of it? Okay, what do you think of when you're facing a tough situation? Like for me personally, if I'm facing something, I'm like, oh God, please let me have this courage to move on. And it's sort of comfort, okay. And I just cannot agree with the fact that there is no relevance of religion in this 21st century because even now, the most of the population around like globally is believing in religion. Okay, only like atheists or people who don't believe in religion are in very minor numbers. So I just don't believe that it doesn't have any influence in this 21st century or in people's life basically. So like there is a spiritual power actually. Like there is a power that leads you to do things. There is a power that like helps you to remind yourself who you are, helps you involve in the society a bit more, helps you be open about your values and everything. That's what I consider religion as. Like of course there is many people who go to the extreme means like sacrificial ritual and everything, but that's just they are misinterpreting the text and misinterpreting the values of the religion. But there are a huge number of people who do it for their own good. It exists for their greater good, basically. That's what I would like to say.
About misinterpreting religion, I want to add one more thing. Like nowadays we hate everything which makes sense. Like we have come to a world which hates everything which makes sense. For example, if we take feminism, nowadays there is like a huge hate on feminism. I don't understand the reason why people are hating feminism because that true essence of feminism is still there. It is the way how people are misinterpreting it, and people are making it more toxic to let others say that feminism is bad, you shouldn't follow. Like looking at others, the way how they misinterpret feminism is the way how people understand that, oh, this is bad, like feminism, the whole concept is bad. Same goes for democracy. The way how people misinterpret democracy, the way how the others take it. So, just like that, religion has a true essence, and if we misinterpret it, it will be like baseless, or it will be turning out like blind following blind, or it will be turning as irrelevant in 20th century. Because people don't follow the same way how it should be followed. That is the reason why it is being more irrelevant nowadays.
Exactly, like because right now, even when you go to social media, like if somebody is putting like, okay, I'm going to this temple, I'm going like this, like why do you put so much effort in like you can just go to the nearby temple? Why are you traveling so much? Why are you going to this much temple? All gods are same. Just go to a mosque. Then like all of these comments are there. Like that's what I'm saying. It's a basic comfort, and people just don't understand the value of comfort a person have in life. Like if a person is going through, like personally, if I'm going through something, I would like prefer rather going to a peaceful place. Smelling the agarbatti or whatever, like the essence of that place, it's really comforting.
These are all personal things, and most of some of the people inside the group are not talking about and simply looking at my eyes and people. I just want to ask about spiritual about this context. Like I was in a middle part. What do you choose for this? If you are telling something for this topic.
I have I have started on a middle part. Good and not good situation. Religion is I try to talk about religion and education. In world and in charts of India, many girls or other religions not get education on the base they are this is not based on religion. In Afghanistan, the Muslim religion they got proper education, and in India many lower people does not get proper education or this they follow religious behavior. Yeah, I want to counter talk about what Sri said. It's, as I said before, it's about misinterpreting religion. Religion never said that so and so people should not be educated. I think any religion would say people to not be educated. Yeah,
If you know the real meaning of religion,
yeah, it's the way how
setting you free and setting you like going beyond the boundaries and what you want. It's not setting you up.
Yeah.
It's the society norms that is required.
I think it's based on more of misinterpretation and an Afghan culture which makes the girls not study and not
Who
because
is misinterpreting? Who?
the people are misinterpreting the religion.
Who the people? I'm asking.
Yeah,
Why?
because they have a different perspective of seeing that religion.
Because they want the power outside the country.
Maybe.
Exactly. How the religion works in country, that's strictly vote bank politics. What about Karthik? You're telling us your state.
I don't know about religion because I'm just like I don't follow any religion rules because I don't trust Indian or any gods.
So you don't trust it.
Yes.
Who created all this beautiful world and everything.
No.
Like who
There
created that?
is no evidence all this created in the world.
Have you read any religious text?
See,
Because they have
texts are written by only humans. They were before our knowledge and everything.
Yes.
But texts take from before many years. But there is no proof.
And I can also say science is also not very
So that
He has a point, like the books are written by ancient people, but science, okay, also written by people, but there are observations, there are conclusions.
No, but
No,
there's
evidence for science.
I also have I
As
was
I
talking about
started.
evidence because actually a subjective point of view where the evidence of my religion says that so and so place will be in greenery when the world ends, and that actually happened. The religious text was mentioned this 14,000 years, I mean not 14,000, 1400 years ago, and whatever they mentioned that time, like at the end of the world, so and so things are gonna happen, it actually happens, which makes us believe that something is there, something in the religious text is evident.
Please don't give up.
I will tell one example. They said that they were past like that. We hear many books saying like that. Some next year we get earthquakes like that, but it won't come.
No, I'm telling it came right now.
What is it? You came, then you trust, right? Now also it like mentioned in the book that I can say, right?
Yeah.
But like that, there are some books say that we get earthquakes on this year, that day, that time. So it won't happen.
And I'm telling about my subjective point of view. Religion is not generalized. I'm telling about my subjective point of view.
I want to add some point to this. Don't get offended. Okay. I'm from Christian community by birth. Okay. So I'm reading Bible this time, and I was initially that time I was reading this Bible like a fairy tale, literally fairy tale, because there's a character named Noah. Okay. Noah made a particular something called a big box for living. Okay. There's a I will tell that story. Like the God commanded that Noah that the world is going to end. So you have to keep all the creatures in your home. So Noah made a big box, and all the people, all things were inside there. For me, that like when I was hearing this story in my childhood, I was like, okay, it will happen. But right now, I don't feel like that. First thing. Second thing, we have Jesus Christ. Okay, and Maria, Magdalene Maria, that she got pregnant at the age of early adulthood in 90, and that time, as per science, I don't know whether a woman can hold this pregnancy. Okay, and these are some clarifications I need. Still, I don't have any clue about this. Okay, as per my Bible understanding. Okay, if I take Mahabharata, Ramayana, same things I was thinking for this. So For religion, we carry the kind of, as he said, books. I don't know whether it's a good practice or not. Maybe it's a good framework for society how to live. Okay, that's it. And you're not doing something. Okay, fine.
So for the topic whether religion is relevant in the 20th century or not. First of all, I'm born in a very religious family. I was given this religious orientation every day. We have to go to the temple every day. Like, it is too religious. But after some point, I got not religious. I don't really believe in the existence of God. But then now I am a religious category. So I think religion is mostly about the spiritual feeling, the peace of mind that we have, and also like students, since we are students, day before the exam we go to the temple and ask please help me, I will study with please help me. Even before writing the exam, all of us are asked to just pray to God. So it's just about the belief, not about control or whatever that is going on. I just believe that it's a spiritual, it's a peace of mind, and whenever if I feel restless, I will go to the one or two temples to feel that peace of mind. That's it. So for me, even in 21st century, even though it's getting more and more better, our peace of mind is related to, if it is related to something like a religion, then that will go on forever. So even in this society, I think religion is very relevant.
As Gayatri said, like, it's related to mind harmony. In 21st century, there are people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, no kind of mind crisis. So I think in this point that spiritual power that give us the comfy situation, that is important. We want something. We want something to, I will not say depends, but we want something. Like if you didn't get the answer, if you didn't get the peace, we want something there. So to me, it's not about the religion, it's the spiritual power. And like we should, like we are humans, we have that intelligent power. So we have to perceive what is the good thing, what all things we can take from that from the religious basis. So in that way, if we follow religion, I think it will be good. It will be good for everyone.
And like she said before, there was from a personal community, there was one person who was very close to me. He decided to commit suicide and he had come to me. And when he had to be admitted to a hospital, and the doctor itself said that if you're feeling all these things, I think it's better to just personally he had a lot of different things that he had to follow. But also the doctor recommended was that you can go to a temple. If you are feeling something bad, you can just go to a temple and you can pray. Don't like completely follow religion or God or whatever. But there is this positivity feeling that you will get when you go to a temple. He is one of the top psychiatrists that you can get in India. But still he said that you can go to a temple, maybe you will feel fine. So it's just all about that personal belief and feeling rather than making it politically or anything.
And sometimes like when you go to hospital, you see like person is severely ill. What doctor says now your baby can have the set, they can say. So miracle happen from where? From God's side. So many people are believing God and people are not believing God. On perspectives.
So the conclusion, but we can say that it is
Like I said, my opinion, I don't have that much idea about this religion. Like how I used to be, how I used to be treated in my home. It was basically my mom is a very religious person. My dad is not that much religious. He is in the middle of this. And from my mother being so much religious and gaining more trust in religion and following all these pujas and all, going to temples and attending more temple like something. They have like some temple festivals and all, let's say. So in that perspective, when I was very child, when I was a child, like around 7 class, 8 class, and 9 class, I used to just pray so much to my God. My mother made that perspective. You should pray every day. I used to like flower every God. Yeah, flower every God. I used to have very religious element. I used to like we have mala, right? Mala. So I used to go for 3 or 4, 5, 6 rounds. It was like that. And right now I'm not doing any of this. Because like from what I have understood, it's not like religion is very different, and what religion is basically, God is there. Like the very high person, which is like God. God is there. After that, He made a religion, some kind of like a system. Like, okay, this is the religion, this is another religion, this is another religion. Every religion have their own cons, pros and cons. Okay, I won't say anything about that because I don't have any much clarity about other religions like Buddhism, Islam, yes, Islam and all. In my perspective, I would say like going to a temple make me feel very spiritual and all, which I can get even with doing yoga. Right, like it's basically your.
Came from the Hindu scriptures.
Yeah. I'm
Just saying.
Last 2 minutes. I'm not saying that. It's basically, I would say, like going to a temple makes you feel believe in God. Right? You can do the same thing in being home. Like in a home, you have a very small place for making a temple like structure and pray to the God. Right? What I believe is. Can I say? It's very big. I'm in the middle, right? I'm very in the middle. I don't believe too much in the God, or I don't believe at all in the God. It's basically I have my own perspective that I never saw God, or I never have felt like okay, God is there with me. It was basically me with myself. I sometimes I also trust myself as a God, and I used to do that. Like I used to say myself, it's okay, you can do it. Like there is nobody with you, it's fine, you can do it by yourself. It's basically my own spiritual habit for doing that. Also, yeah, religion is kind of a tool, I would say, in my perspective, because right now what is happening in India, it's basically Hindu versus Muslim and all, basically Hindu people going and attacking on Muslims, mosque, yeah. Muslim mosque, and they are fighting again, and because of the social media and all, we are getting so much of fake news and all, and we can't even predict like who is good or who is bad. Even right now, if I before coming here, when I was at 10th or 11th, I used to hate Muslim people because of all these things that surrounding me. Right now, I can say that okay, these are not bad at all. Like people are there with religion. They have their own perspective of religion, and I have respect for that. That's my stance.
Like I want to add some points on this because I also am studying Delhi. I'm here to Delhi in North India. So you can see the clear difference between Hindu people and Muslim people. Like people used to love other one depends on the religions. My religion is Islam. Like I love to be friends with a Muslim guy or Muslim girl. Like in here we can see that difference, but there we can clearly see that difference. So these all difference, and these all things are coming from religion. But it's all about this. If I want to add like what you said, we can clearly make a difference. Like I want to be friends with my own religion. It's because of this. I will mention it's because of the recent politics or what is happening. Politics like they are, but like in your mind that your religion people, you should be friends with your religion people, and other religion people are all bad, and people are blindly following them. So it's but the basic of that thing is religion only, and it's injected from the fear, like that they are not bad or they are not thinking I can only friend with my religion person. It's that is the fear. It's the fear. Like if I go friends with someone else, I might attack. That fear.
So that is not on the fear, it's on the politics.
Yeah.
So we need to convey in short of time. Like as we mentioned, start with the religion is blind following the blind. Actually, it is not there. There are some people who against and for. So religion is not a stupid thing in the 21st century, but it is not a baseless thing in this century. But it has some base, but it's baseless. Okay, we have to stand it somewhere in between because all the points were elaborated and included in this discussion were somewhat middle of the skills. And last part, everyone was talking about this religion is controlling by someone, like a politics. And what politics is working behind this religion that is affecting to all community, especially in India and also in other countries. Just that one.